have 5 credit cards.
I have 3 credit cards.
I have 7 credit cards.
Have you ever encountered bank booths at your school? When you sign up for a credit card, do you actually read the full contract? Did you know that once you sign the contract, the credit card company has permission to change the terms, such as the interest rate, the lowest monthly payment, and any fees at any time for any given reason? Do you even know how to calculate your own interest rate? Well, an average American attending college owns about 8 credit cards. Credit card companies will use any tactics to get you to sign up for them, sometimes using bribes and lies. But why is it that Americans depend so much on credit cards? About 35% of college students go into debt every year just because of their credit card bills. Interest rates play a critical role in exactly how much you pay the credit card company. What most Americans don't know is that it's actually quite simple to find out your annual APR.
The situation is a student has put $2,500 down on the credit card for the college school supplies and books. The credit card interest rate is 9%. The student will be paying a minimum payment of 2% a month. So in 2 years, how much will the student have paid off? The first step is to plug your numbers into the equation. P equals the amount on the card times, in parentheses, 1 plus the interest rate, which is 0.09, divided by the amount in a month, so 12 close parentheses to the power of 12 months, multiplied by the amount, which is 2 years, so 24 months, then multiply that by, in parentheses, 1 minus 0.02, which is the minimum payment, close the parentheses to the power of the total months, which is 24 again. So when you're done, you should get A equals 2,500, in parentheses, 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 to the 24th power multiplied by, in parentheses, 1 minus 0.02 to the 24th. Second step, solve the equation. So in the end, you should have $1,841 left and 82 cents. You would only have paid off $658.18.
The best way to approach owning and using a credit card is just to be smart about it and use it responsibly. It's easy to pay sometimes with a plastic card, but forget about it later. And then it just hits you that you still owe that money. Now, just one of the credit card tactics would be how they would recommend paying the minimum payment. They usually set a low minimum payment so college students can actually handle that. Now listen to this recording on how they actually try to give you a valid reason on why to pay the minimum payment.
For example, like credit cards, if you have like $2,000 and you owe $1,000, you might want to give the minimum payment because but don't pay it off all at once.
Now paying the minimum payment is not always good. Even though you pay the minimum payment, you still owe much more money. This then raises the interest rate and still has a gap which you have to pay off. You should usually pay off more than the minimum payment, or if possible, pay it all off. The recording that you just listened to was from a booth at USD. Now look at this video clip of a booth at SDSU. Both the booths at USD and SDSU had very appealing objects on top of the table. The goodies attract the average student to come over and to actually talk to the person at the booth. The person at the booth would then persuade them to buy their credit card. They would then technically bribe the student with free stuff. You can view the people at the booth as vultures. They usually walk around the table sucking people in. Who actually gave permission to the banks to set up these booths at the college campus? Well, the actual college does. But does this mean that they want the students to get sucked into these traps? Well, then another question came up. Does the college get money off of these booths? Well, we started asking around and we found that it costs $30 for a booth. But to set up a booth, you must have a valid booth idea. So technically, these colleges actually gain from these booths. After going to different colleges, some colleges didn't only have booths, but they actually had a bank facility set up right in the middle of the campus. These banks on the campus actually had huge banners with advertisements for their credit cards. So this brings up another point. Not only did they attract students with goodies, but also attracted students with low interest rates. But many students don't read over the contract. If you look at the fine print of many credit card contracts, it reveals a lot of information that might run away the average student. Many small print states that the bank can change the interest rate at any time. It also gives them permission to look at your other income and also bills from other companies. It also states many fees that you might not know of. Most of our theories had come from our own research, so we decided to interview a college student so we could confirm our theory, and to also get a college student's perspective.
So how long have you been in college?
I've been in college for 3 years.
Have you ever seen any of the credit card booths in your college?
Yes, I see them every once in a while. They actually set out outside the cafeteria in my college.
What kind of things do they tell you that get you interested in them?
They usually go by saying that they'll give you a low APR for the first 6 months or 12 months.
Okay, so besides the low APR that they offer you, what else do they show you or tell you?
They usually have like gifts. They offer, if you sign up for the credit card, they'll give you like free keychains and free mugs, things like that from the bank.
So right now, exactly how many credit cards do you have?
When I started in college and they offered me credit cards, I had about 6 total, and right now I actually only have 3.
So on your first year of college, when you looked out for the credit card stands, what were you looking for specifically?
Well, when you start college, you obviously want to get a credit card as soon as you can actually get one. You look for the basically it's how much credit they give you, not necessarily the APR, because when you're young you don't really understand how that works. But right now, I obviously it's not just the APR, it's also you have to check for your annual, if there's any annual charges, or if there's all the cash advances, and if how much they charge if you go over your limit. It's a whole lot of things that you don't look for when you're young and you're starting up getting credit cards.
Okay, so have you ever been in any sort of debt from the credit card companies?
Yes, like I said, when I started off, I had 6 credit cards, and it became a struggle to pay them off every month. So I am now currently with 3 credit cards, and I learned to have as little credit cards as possible.
So what's your interest rate now and how much was it before?
When you start off, it probably, after that whole 6 months low APR, it goes up to like 8. It went up for me like for 18%. But now that my credit has improved and I've got more points on that, I am currently like around 12%.